Welcome once again to our staff and personnel from the Department of Agrarian Reform Municipal Offices, which are some of them are watching online, from Darmo Maitom, Darmo Kiamba, Darmo Maasim, Darmo Alabel, Darmo Malapatan, Darmo Malungon, Darmo Glan, Darmo Jansan, and also from our divisions, from Land Tenure Improvement Division, from Legal Division, from Support Operations Division, and from Program Beneficiaries Development Division.
And of course, we also acknowledge the presence and the strong support of our Parpo Tuding B. Yusof. Now, without further ado, may we request Parpo Tuding B. Yusof to be here in front for his opening message. Sir?
Again, good morning to all of us, all participants from the different sectors in the provincial office, and of course, to different Darmos in Sarangani province. Of course, I have to express my gratitude, of course, to our esteemed guest, sir, for heeding our request for this very important discussion for today, which is life principles for a prosperous and victorious 2026. Gentlemen, parati ko po binabalik-balik yung regarding morality, strong ethical values, most especially in the public service, as I am always reiterating, because being in the public service as public servants, the civil service required us to possess these core values. Number one is utmost responsibility, utmost integrity, utmost loyalty, and of course, utmost efficiency. So you cannot have that virtues, of course, without a strong moral foundation. Kaya this topic, of course, very, very important in our journey. Kaya sinasabi ko, in the very beginning of my career in the DAR, marami na po akong atinan na mga moral values formation, moral recovery programs. Kung tingnan natin, parang simple lang siya, but it really affects our whole personality, our whole person. Remember, if we have an eroded moral foundation, moral values, ano ang magiging epekto sa'yo? Kaya sinasabi ko, these values which must be central to our ethical standards must be at all time, especially sa atin lahat, that we are doing works, delivering services to our farmers, our agrarian reform beneficiaries. So nakaka-apekto yan sa ating decision making as managers, and of course sa atin lahat as workers of the government, with specific stakeholders, yung ating mga farmers, ating mga agrarian reform beneficiaries, and of course our agrarian reform communities. Hindi ko na tagalan itong aking message because of course I personally gusto ko rin pakinggan yung i-share sa atin ni Sir, si Engineer Alan D. Marcila. Sir, welcome po to Dar Sarangani. So sa lahat po ng mga kawani ng Department of Agrarian Reform, Sarangani Province, please makinig po tayo. Lahat po ng mga insights, lahat ng mga sasabihin ni Sir, please internalize po natin at gawin po natin sa ating araw-araw na trabaho. So with that, welcome po. Good morning again.
Thank you, Pito, for the wonderful opening message. And I request everyone to please sit back and relax as we proceed to hear a message and a wonderful discussion of our speaker for today. So before that, may I request my partner to introduce our speaker for today.
Thank you. To properly introduce our speaker today, he is currently the department head of the City Environment and Natural Resources Office of LGU General Santos City. He also holds a master's degree in Sustainable Development Studies. At present, he is pursuing his doctorate degree in Sustainable Development Studies in the same school in Mindanao State University. So, to talk about the topic, Anchor for Stable and Successful Life, please help me welcome our speaker, Environmental Planner, Alan De Marcilia, MISDS. A round of applause, please.
Thank you, John. Mayong buntag sa tanan. Good morning, everyone. O sa amin pa sa environment, we greet everyone isang makakalikasang pagbati po sa ating lahat. No? So, environmental greetings to all of us. It's a privilege for me to be here. Kasi di naman lagi tayong naiimbitahan ng mga government agencies to speak. No? And I just take this opportunity. Wala ako nakadili kay Nelson. No? Son, plan B lang ko, pwede? Plan B lang ko. And then when I asked him, sa mga flag ceremony time, siya mga later in the day mo daw, sige, I said yes. Although I was hesitant the last week, but you know, di na to may bawan eh. So when I invited sa mga inani, I usually took this as an opportunity to share, you know, learn from each other. And Paspo, you prepare my message, no? It's exactly the same na mga message na gusto na akong i-share what you have just shared. So mostly I'll be sharing from my own personal experience because I know that we are all government workers. But I know some of you here, maybe before mo ni sulod sa DAR, you used to work for other agencies or other companies, so you have other experiences and you can always compare, no, what is to work in the government. So I have nawala man. Anak ko man eh. Okay. I have some few questions to prepare our discussion this morning. No? Just a few questions. And maybe some of you can answer. Ha? Una, how long have you been working in the government? Sir, how long have you been working in the government?
10 years.
10 years. So, 10 years. But before the government, nag-work kayo sa private? Wow, nasa bahay lang si Sir. Okay. Sige, si Sir, 10 years. Okay. Sino pa dito? How long have you been working in the government? Are there fresh ones? 1 year in the government? Walang 1 year? 2 years? Wala pa 1 year. Kinsa ang wala pa 1 year? May I see hands? For those who wala pa 1 year? 5 years up. 3 to 5 years. Okay, 3 to 5 years. And then 5 to 10 years. Marami rin. 10 to 15 years. Wala na? 15 to 20 years? Okay, si ma'am? Okay. Sorry. Nawala? Okay na? Okay. I entered government last 2018. I used to work for foreign-funded projects prior to coming into government. I worked with USAID for 9 years. And then after that, sa SIDA for another 9 years. And then before I entered the government, I worked with the World Bank and Japan Social Development Fund, no, working mostly on environmental projects. And kung gikapoy na ko sige biyahe, I decided na gusto ko mo stay og Jensen. Okay, so I did some freelance consultancy and I met a lot of ARBOS, PASPO, together with DTI. I did a lot of assessment of people's organizations together with DTI and then some of mga ARBOS and ARC, and even facilitated strategic planning. And then, I decided na I wanna work full-time in the government. Kasi lahi itong karang nag-work ka lang as a consultant, you're teaching, rather than you are inside and you implement it yourself, no? Ang mga plans. So I decided to apply for the city government, and now I am, by March 1, I'll be working 8 years in the city government. I started as a assistant department head of City Economic Management and Cooperative Development Office. And then a year after, nag-transfer na ako sa City Enro. So 8 years, no? So it leads me to the second question. So what were your intentions to apply and work for the government? When you enter for the government, siyo kadaganan sa to, basta mangita nagtrabaho, good, basta makasulot sa government. No? That's mostly our intention. Pero ako, being from a development of projects, my intentions really were to make an influence in the government. Iba yung kami, we are highly technical people. I work as an environmental technical consultant. So we've been teaching governments all around the Philippines. I've been traveling around the Philippines. Pero lahi ng ikaw nagatudlo, lahi po ng ikaw gid ang mag-implement. And so my intention in entering the government, yun nga, gusto ko ma-implement yung mga gusto ko. Kayo, especially the young ones, what were your intentions when you apply for the government? Is it just finding a job? So sabi nga ni Sir kanina, no, when you work in the government, it's civil. We are civil servants. Di ba? So very important kasi ito, tayo as a government, kasi iba ang sitwasyon natin ngayon, mga trabahante sa gobyerno. I don't know how do you see yourself outside of your office. Mamaya, ito, okay? So, balikan nyo daw, ano bang intentions nyo when you work for the government? When you apply, ano yung mga intentions niyo? Ngayon, ako, may hiring kami ngayon ng mga technical staff eh. And mostly, I'm hiring mga fresh graduates and then yung mga 1 to 2 years na may experience. And gusto natin yung mga fresh ang pumasok sa government. No? Pero bakit kaya? Okay? So, what were your intentions? No, I'm leading to my topic this morning. And what were your hopes and expectations? What were your hopes and expectations when you were accepted in the government? Especially kay po sa ating mga managers dito. Sir Jan, ilang taong ka na sa government?
More than 35 years.
Wow. Sir Jan, 35 years in government. Kami, alam niyo sa city, ang dami namin nag-retire ngayon ng mga heads. Isa na lang yatang naiwan sa amin na head ngayon na maggiitan pa na senior citizen. Isa na lang yun. Ang public service officer who used to be a counselor is retiring this March 31. Azami. So, halos lahat ng mga dating mga department heads namin, they're already retiring. But what were your hopes and expectations? Maganda alam mo, nagustuhan ko sa Dar, ang daming mga Gen Z dito, at saka millennials. No? Kasi magandang mag-work with the millennials and influence the way you think. Kasi nasa inyo nakasalalay ang ating bansa ngayon eh. No? Okay? What were ang taas ng expectations ko. You know, being from a development work, pagpasok ko sa government, the idealism was there. Ganito yung mga gusto kong gawin, ganito yung mga gusto kong gawin. Nung pumasok ako sa government, only to find out na yung 1-year plan mo, it will take you 3 to 5 years mo ma-implement. No? Kasi pagpasok ko, akala ko, anytime makahingi ka agad ng budget, hindi pala. No? Hindi ganun kadali to work in the government. And ang goal ko lang talaga sana mag-work sa government is just 5 years. I gave myself mag-work ako sa government in 5 years and I'll try my best to implement those plans within 5 years. When I came in, lahat ng mga plano ko, lahat ng idealism. Si Nelson worked for me for ilang years? 3 years. So he knows our frustration working in the government. No? Iba pala talaga magtrabaho sa government. Okay? So lahat ng mga hopes and expectations ko talagang malayo. No? But that discouraged me. Were those hopes and expectations met? Gradually. I can only say to you, gradually. I don't know si Sir Jan, mula nung nag-umpisa siya from 35 years. You started with DAR?
Yes.
For 35 years. Wow! So sir, for your 45 years in DARP, pag umpisa mo sa DARP hanggang ngayon, natupad ba yung mga inumpisahan nyo hanggang ngayon? Were your hopes and expectations met?
Yes, mostly.
Mostly. That's good to hear. No? At least nangyari yung mga gusto ninyo. Okay? At ewan ko si Paspo. How long? Sorry. Parpo. Ilang taon na po kayo sa DAR?
25 years, sir.
Wow. So 35 years. So same question. Yung ba mga hopes and expectations yung working sa DAR? At least natupad ba?
At least, sir. On the personal level, siyempre, meron tayong mga dreams na ito ba? And of course, the other question is yung impact ng ating intervention,
Yeah.
ng ating work. Yun ang pinaka-importante.
Correct. Tandaan nyo yan, ha? Yung impact natin doon sa trabaho natin. Okay? So, for the young people here, no? Let me refresh you with this question. What were your hopes and expectations? Very important yan, no? Pag pumasok kayo sa isang trabaho, sa isang opisina. Because ano bang inspiration ninyo? Ano bang motivation natin? Dito ba sa DAR? Because I know you will always experience frustration. Pero how will you move on, no, from those frustration? Okay? Are you proud to be a government employee? Yes. Parang isa lang narinig kong nag-yes. Are you proud to be a government employee? No, pag lumalabas ka, di ba? Kaya lang ngayon parang we are on a time na mukhang alam niyo ba may department ngayon na hindi na sila nagsusuot ng uniform nila pag lumalabas sila. Pag nagfi-field sila. No, alam niyo naman siguro yun kung anong department ang nire-refer ko, di ba? Tayo ba sa government? Kami, lalo na ngayon, dahil pag lumalabas ka sa government, sometimes, di ba sasabi, taga-gobyerno ka ba? Nag-work ka ba sa government? Ako minsan, hindi ko na sinasabi na sa government ako, but I try to listen. What are people saying about us in the government? And you know, it sums up doon sa yung pa-contest yung tingin sa atin ng mga tao, yung game show ni Ding Dong Dantes. Family Feud. I don't know if you have seen this episode sa Family Feud, but I saw this. There was a question doon sa contestant. Ang tanong, alam niyo anong tanong? Ano ang tingin ng mga tao sa mga nagtatrabaho sa government? Yan ang generalized question. Pero anong sagot? Without any hesitation? Siyempre, ganun agad. Ba? Pindot agad. Ang sagot niya, mga kurakot! Ganun talaga ang sagot. And then, diba? Tapos, di ba ilalabas pa yan doon kung ano ang sagot ng mga tao, ano ang number one? O sige nga, ano ang tingin ng mga tao sa mga nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno? Kurakot. Paglabas doon sa sagot, number one talaga, mga kurakot. And this is way back 2 years ago, yata. No? So, friends, mga co-workers in the government, okay? That's how people perceive us in the government. We may not be guilty, no? Na hindi naman tayo guilty, siguro na kurako tayo, corrupt tayo. Pero since we are one in the government, and if most people perceive us, nadadamay tayong lahat. No? Yan ang pagiging problema natin, nadadamay tayong lahat. Kaya nga, isa lang ang tingin nila sa atin in the government. Sige, lalo na ngayon, naglalabasan, ang yaman-yaman pala ng Pilipinas. Pero only very few enjoy yung ating, di ba, napakasakit. Kaya parang pag lumalabas ka, parang hindi mo masabi, are you still proud to be a government worker? I used to be very proud. No? When I went to Singapore, nung tinanong ko sila, paano mag-apply sa government? The hardest job to get into in Singapore and in the US, in Europe, it's government. Because there, dadaan ka sa karayom kung papasok ka sa government. They only hire the best, no? Doon sa Singapore and then sa US when I was there. And then I asked them, how do I get into the government? It's not easy. It's highly competitive, no? But they only hire the best, no, sa government pag nandoon. Kaya pag sinabi nilang government worker ka sa Singapore o sa US, ang taas ng tingin ng tao sa kanila. Because ganun. So tayo, do we have that kind of perception ba sa mga tao natin, no? But still, ako nandiyan pa rin. Because the reason that I get into the government is that I wanted to make an influence. No? Kasi importante yung alam natin, may alam tayo, may abilidad tayo, gusto natin gawin. Okay? So are you proud to be a government employee? I think we should. Kasi yan na lang yung naiiwan sa atin eh. As long as you can tell the people, no, right in their eyes, I'm not corrupt. No, I'm not corrupt. There's no way to be ashamed that we work in the government kung hindi tayo guilty sa mga tingin nila sa atin. No? Although damay tayo. And then lastly, do you love your work? Ha? Mahal niyo ba yung trabaho ninyo? Na pagising niyo sa umaga, hindi mabigat, maligo, magbihis, no? Excited ka pumunta sa trabaho. Or are you one na, ay kapuya naman, uy, routinary, pag mata sa buntag, no, maligo, magkuha, ato na po sa opisina. You know why I'm asking these questions? Because I've been asking this question myself, no, sa sarili ko. If I don't love my work, it's ang hirap. Very heavy pumunta sa trabaho. Di ba? So si Sir John, do you still love your work? Now working for 35 years? Di ba? You will not be here kung no, hindi kayo umabot ng 20 years kung if you don't love your work. Very heavy pumunta sa trabaho. Okay na? Okay. Okay? So, for the young ones here, remember this, ha? Kung talagang gusto nyo magtagal sa trabaho, you need to love your work. And that's the reason why I stayed in the city government. Okay? Because it's not just love for work, but it's a love for the city. No, ito na lang, I was planning, gusto ko nang umalis eh. Mga friends ko, huwag kang umalis. Huwag kang umalis. No, because they know me. Kaya sabi nila, huwag kang umalis. Kailangan ka pa sa city government. And when you hear those kind words from the people around you, parang nai-inspire ka, di ba? They see that you are important. And the only reason that I need to stay because I love my work. Okay na ba? Okay, so let's move. So now, look at DAR. Yan pala yung inyong vision of DARPO. An organization, take note, dedicated, fit, and competent workforce. No? Just remember those adjectives. Dedicated, fit, and competent workforce. No, kami sa city government, nire-require namin, dapat ma-memorize natin yung ating vision. And then your mission, committed to efficiently utilize human financial resources, advance the welfare of the workforce, and actualize equitable land ownership. So that's very specific. No? So kung titingnan ninyo, you really have, yung word kanina ni Sir, internalize. Na-internalize nyo ba yung vision ninyo? And then itong organizational values, DARPO Sarangani aims to render quality service to its clients by adhering and promoting 5 core values. Love of God and country. Pangalawa ninyo, commitment. Number 3, culture of excellence. And number 4, discipline. And 5, integrity. You know, hindi naman bago sa akin, but we have almost all government agencies have very similar core values. And on top of all those values, kami sa Gensan, we have 5 also. Godliness, commitment, service excellence. No? Yan yung aming teamwork. Almost related tayo. Pero isa lang yung nakikita kong common. I also speak sa PNP. No? I'm also a resource person sa Regional Training Center ng PNP. And then, 3 yung kanilang core value. But on top of their core value is still godliness. Nandiyan talaga ang God. Okay? Kayo nga, ito din, no? Love of God and country. So kung titinan niyo natin mga core values na yan, how much of that is in you sa sarili mo? Kasi we are not just to memorize our core values. No? Kaya kung titinan natin, yan, our core values, you have 5, the love of God and country. Memorize yun na ba ang core values ninyo? If I point someone and then ipa-recite ko sa inyo yung core values ninyo, can you recite it? Yung 5? Very important. Ito yung natutunan ko ngayon, no, sa pagtatrabaho ko sa government. You have to memorize this: commitment, culture of excellence, discipline, and integrity, because our core values are our life guiding principles to live by. How do you live every day? Paano ka ba kumikilos? Paano ka ba gumagawa ng decisions mo araw-araw? Saan mo ba binibase? Kaya yung mga core values natin, they are not just for compliance, meron tayong core values. But our core values should be the principles that we live by every day. Kaya nga importante sa atin, no, as government workers, is meron tayong values na in-exercise natin, no, sa pamumuhay natin araw-araw. So, just remember this. Our core values are our life guiding principles to live by every day. Do you love God? Are you committed? Do you have a culture of excellence? Paano ba makikita yung culture of excellence? Do you have discipline? Tingnan nyo, yan yung mga kailangan natin memorizein. And then the last one, do you live by integrity? Alam niyo ba ibig sabihin nun? Sinasabi natin, ang nakita ko ba, sa Pilipinas, and then with all the government agencies and offices, and we have all these core values, why are we facing ganitong problema sa bansa natin? Grabe ang, corruption, maintindihan. In the whole of Asia, we are already number 3 na most corrupt nation. Buti na lang number 3 tayo, in Asia lang yan, Kasi kung number 1 pa tayo, tapos sa buong mundo, pang ilan kaya tayo? Pero hindi lang yan yung mga bad na imahe natin. Ito, sa environment. Alam niyo ba, pang ilan tayo pagdating sa polluters, plastic polluters of the ocean in the world? Alam niyo ba, anong ranking natin in the world as plastic polluters? Ano sabi mo, sir? Number 1. That's right. We are number 1. No? Plastic polluters in the world. Nandyan lagi yan sa mga record. Kaya nga, sabi ko, nakakadismaya talagang imahe ng Pilipinas. And now, with the corruption na nangyayari ngayon, may naririnig pa ako, sana pasukin na rin tayo ni Trump, tanggalin ang mga corrupt in the government. Kasi ginawa niya sa Venezuela, tinanggal yung kanilang president dahil sa corruption and all the drugs related. So, kung pwede palang gawin yan, ng mga ganyan. So, ngayon, mabasa mo yan sa mga Facebook. Sabi niya, buti papasukin din kaya tayo ni Trump at tanggalin ang mga corrupt and drug addicts sa government. No? Ewan ko. But that's the face that we have in our government. And just imagine this, with all our core values, kung lahat ng mga gobyerno, lahat ng nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno are truly exercising our core values, tingin nyo mangyayari ito? Ito mga ganitong issue? Kaya you ask yourself, okay? So, ito ngayon, look at your core values. How will you put that into ganito? Kung ang ating ay parang bahay, tingnan nyo dyan. So how do we live by? No? So ginawa ko tong parang bahay, ang core values ng DAR. Yung pinaka-foundation natin ng ating core values, yung pinaka-pundasyon, pinaka-source natin is our love of God and country. No? Irregardless of what religion you are in, kasi alam ko, iba-iba tayo ng mga religion. May Muslim, may Christians, may IPs pa tayo, no? May iba-iba. No? May Protestant, may Catholics, iba-iba tayo ng mga religion. Pero common to all of us, Even yung mga sinauna natin na sabi natin wala pa namang religion noon, pero they have a form of, di ba, mga anitos, yun yung mga kuha natin, yung ating mga early ancestors, they still believe in a higher power. So kung titinan natin, yung pinaka-foundation natin is that love of God and country. Pero, apat siya na, meron kang 3 pillars na nakita ko doon sa inyong core values. You have culture of excellence, discipline, and integrity. But since you have these pillars and they are already standing on love of God, what will hold it together? Ano ang mag-hold sa itong ating 3 pillars na yan? In order for this to work, itong 3 na to, and even our foundation, kailangan mo lagyan ng atip. Ano ang atip ng ating core value? Commitment. Because you need commitment to exercise culture of excellence. You need commitment to be disciplined. You need commitment to have integrity. And that commitment should be founded on the love of God and country. Kaya ako, sabihin ko na sa inyo, no, I'm not religious, but I love God. Yun yung pinaka-foundation ng buhay ko, no, yung pagmamahal at takot sa Diyos. Kasi kung yan tayo at committed tayo diyan, we will have a very strong organization. So, yan yung mga dapat na tingnan natin. Okay? So, first, ito, very short na lang because I know na ginagawa natin. But I'd like to share this based on my own personal experience. Love of God and country. How much do you love God? How many of you here? Kasi sometimes minimeasure natin yung love of God natin by how many times do we go to church? Nagsisimba ba tayo? No? But you know what? More than that, ang love of God is nakikita sa buhay natin. Di ba? Nakikita sa mga actions natin. So how do we show that we love God? No? Ito, I tried my best. Kasi sabi ko nga dahil mix tayo dito. And you know, ano yung mga discovery natin? The Muslim and Christian faith are almost the same when it comes to talking about the love of God and how important, okay, yung God sa atin. Dapat there's no separate between state and, di ba? Yan ang mga gusto nila. May separate dapat sa church and state. We're not talking of church, no? We're talking of faith. Dapat hindi separated siya. Okay, now look at this. How do you express your love of God? Very important ito kasi if you believe in God, you believe in your purpose. Kasi kung hindi tayo naniniwala siya, ano pang purpose natin? Bakit tayo nandito? Do you believe life after death? Do you believe that what we're doing today is an investment to our eternal future? Kasi kung alam natin yung mga yan, we will try to live a righteous life. Kung alam natin na yung ginagawa natin ngayon, no, ay investment doon sa ating eternity. And this is something that I have learned. Even in both Muslim and even Christian in other faith, there is life after death. And what we do today and how we live today and how we perform in our job determines saan tayo in our eternity. That's why tayo as a country ay naniniwala talaga, no, sa higher power. Na yun ang ating emphasis, the love of God. Tadi ko na. So, what the Quran says, baka, ayoko din kasi baka may protocol eh. Pero you just read that. I try to research this because I try to look at na ano ba ang sinasabi sa Quran, ano ba ang sinasabi sa Bible. And you know, like I said, foundation natin sa core value natin is God. Saan ba natin makikita si God? Saan bang basis natin? For us Christians, it's the Bible. Okay? For the Muslims, they have the Quran. Yan yung very source ng ating paniniwala. So ito sinasabi sa Quran, no? Indeed, God loves those who honor their covenants and fear Him. Do you fear God? Hindi ito yung fear na natatakot ka. Ito yung fear na reverence. Do you respect God? Yan yung fear na hinahanap. Do you revere God? Okay? Hindi yung natatakot ka kay baka pag makasalanan ka, no? I-judge ka ng Panginoon. Hindi mga ganun. Although He's a judge, He's a just God. No? Indeed, those who have said, our Lord is Allah, and then remain on a right course, take note, remain on a right course, the angels will descend upon them. Do not fear and do not grieve, but receive good tidings of paradise. So naniniwala din sila sa paradise. Tayo sa Christian, may paradise din. No? We believe in heaven. If you are a Mormon, ang alam ko sa Mormon, they have 7 heavens. 7 ang kanilang langit. No? So naniniwala tayo na may papupuntahan tayo. Commands worshiping God alone and being good. O yan. Good to parents, relatives, orphans, the needy, the neighbors, and the travelers. Kung titinan nyo si Dar sa core value natin, sa mga programa ninyo, kaya natin ginagawa yan dahil there's a lot of needy people in our community. Kaya yun ang core value natin eh. Okay? Pero what does the Bible says? Deuteronomy, ito alam natin. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. Take note of that. With all of your heart, your strength, yung ability ninyo. Ginagamit nyo ba yung mga ability, mga gifts na binigay ng Lord sa inyo? Hindi lamang sa trabaho sa kingdom of God, but doon sa atin sa community. How do you bring the love of God when you go out in the community? Kasi alam ko, nagtatrabaho kayo sa mga community. No? Magdating ba doon dahil pagod ka na? Kasi minsan may mga sa akin sa mga field technicians ko, how do you treat yung ating mga client in the fields? How do you treat yung mga upland farmers? Make sure that you treat them with proper respect and care. Because that's how we show that we care sa kanila. Huwag sana ako makarinig na, kasi gagaya sa amin, minsan si Mayor nag-announce pa sa flag ceremony namin, yung tao doon sa cashier, galit na galit ang estudyante kasi pinagalitan, kukuha lang sana ng kanyang allowance sa scholar, nagalit yung paghulat dito, pagkuha dito. Is that how we should treat our clients? No. If you have this, remember, no? Kailangan natin talaga na ipakita sa kanila yung love. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. Okay? So hindi ko na elaborate yan And do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against anyone among your people, but love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's the second greatest commandment. That's why we in the government, yung ating mga programs and services, is actually an expression of this, no, that we love our neighbor. The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than this. Okay? So friends, no, na nandito, if we really wanted to serve in the government, first and most of all is that we're not serving people. We are serving God. When we do our best, when we give our best in the work of the government, we are actually fulfilling God's command. Second, commitment. What is commitment? Sometimes it's very important that we know to define, ano ito? The state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity. Take note of the word as state. Ano yung kinalalagyan? And then, quality. Ano yung quality? Okay? Of being dedicated. So take note of the word dedicated to a cause. Ano bang cause natin? Sabi doon sa inyong mission to efficiently provide. Di ba? Meron pa kayo a culture of excellence, provide services. Yun yung ating cause, to provide the right services. So yan yung ating commitment. Or or simply a pledge or undertaking. So you ask yourself, are you committed? Are you committed? Do you have commitment? No? So tingnan natin ano sinasabi. Ayan, what the Quran says. This verse praises believers who are true to their covenant with Allah. Among the believers are men who have proven true to what they pledge. So what is your pledge? Kayo as a worker in the government sa DAR, meron ba kayong pledge of commitment na memorize? Memorize niyo yung pledge of commitment ninyo? Can anyone here recite the pledge of commitment? Nasa ID. Nasa ID. Tapos meron pa tayong civil service. Di ba? Meron pa tayong civil service pledge. No? Kung titingnan ninyo, ngayon sabi ko nga, ang ginawa namin minsan sa opisina, kung meron kaming ganito, parang sa amin lang, pag meron kaming once a monthly na department meeting, iniisa-isa namin yung pledge. Okay, paparecite o ano itong pledge natin. Okay? Kasi we need to be reminded of our pledge. And very important na yung pledge natin ay nai-internalize natin. That's where commitment is, no? Na tumano na to sa ato ang ginasulti. And ito, part of I live every day, okay? Na you acknowledge that there is a higher power sa iyo. No? Ito, even in the government, in my work in the government, I consider this. No, sa Proverbs 16:3, the wisest king who ever lived. Kilala niyo sino? The wisest king who ever lived, si King Solomon. No, when God asked him, ano bang gusto mo? He only asked one thing, wisdom. That's why he lived as siya yung pinaka-wisest king. Pero ano sabi niya? Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. No? Kami as managers, we acknowledge our limitations. No, we acknowledge, that's why when we commit to God everything that we do, and He will establish our plans, it's actually an act of humility. Now, we cannot rely on our own strength, our own ability. Ako, yan ang lagi kong iniisip. I am so limited, so inadequate, and I need a higher power to help me out. Okay? That's why ako ang ginagawa ko, yan, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. I have so many plans, and most of those plans, even mga personal plans ko sa buhay ko, natupad because of this, Proverbs 6:3. And then Proverbs 3:5-6, so yung mga managers, kasi ako may boss pa ako eh. Si Mayor yung boss ko. Si Mayor may boss siya. No? Hanggang sa umabot sa President, sino pa bang boss ng President? Siya naman yung the highest position in the land. Ang boss ng President, siyempre kung i-recognize niya, he has God. No? Ang yung pinaka-boss niya. Kaya tayo, when we work in the government, if we want to prosper, kailangan i-acknowledge natin, no, before the Lord that without Him wala tayo. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him and He will make your path straight. Tayo ba, no? Tayo sa mga managers, pag magplano tayo, do we see ba our plans as a fulfillment of ano ang plano ng Panginoon para sa mga tao? Si DAR, yung mga program ni DAR, sa tingin nyo ba yung mga programa ni DAR, kasi ang gusto nga natin makatulong sa ating sa mga tao, sa mga community, sa inyong mga beneficiaries, ano bang pinaka-goal nun? Dito pa rin tayo, no? Kaya kailangan nating humingi ng tulong. Ano ba ang mga dapat, no, sa mga plan natin? Ito, kaya siguro makonsider ko ang sarili ko na blessed because, ayan, no, Jeremiah, sabi ng prophet Jeremiah, blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord and whose hope is in the Lord. Okay? So, tayo, the only way that we can be blessed is when we put our trust in the Lord. Okay? Culture of excellence. What the Bible says, and even in the Quran, I find some verses there, pero ito na lang, no, just to pabilisan. Ito, lagi ko naririnig sa flag ceremony namin. No, when someone delivers a message, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. So yung pinaka-boss natin, it's really God. That's why when you do your work, you're not working for men. And excel. Kaya kayo mga bata pa dito, no? If you really wanted to prosper sa inyong mga career, although in the government, parang ang tagal-tagal ma-promote. No? Kasi, di ba, okay lang ako sa opisina namin, mukhang marami kaming opportunity by next year because I'm working on restructuring yung opisina namin dahil nag-expand and I realize we are no longer relevant doon sa pangangailangan. So magre-restructure kami and so there would be a lot of positions, no, by next year. Pero kung kagaya ninyo, pag hindi umalis, mag-retire yung nasa higher position, parang hirap umakyat. Di ba? Para tayo sa government, parang ganun. At tagal. No, gaya pa man ani mag-retire ni boss. Kapila pa ko. How many times pa ako doon? Di ba? Mag-start ka sa anong grade. Kaya nga, when I enter in the government, to tell you frankly, I was already working sa USAID yata. I applied in the city government 3 times. And 3 times ako na-reject. when I applied in the city. Ang sabi lang sa akin during the interview, Lan, you are overqualified sa position. And then sabi ko, ayaw nyo pa nun? May nag-apply na overqualified sa position? And I'm not demanding for a higher position, yung mga ganyan. Ayaw. And then I only heard, Lan, di para sa imuha kay nanay tao gi-assign diha. Mga kabalo man ta in the government. Ha? That's how it works in the government. Kaya ako sa akin ngayon, dahil I have to learn to be political, pag may nag-apply ng job orders, alam mo, kasama doon sa hinahanap ko, sino ang mag-recommend sa'yo na kaalyado ng, alam nyo na. Kasi pag wala yon, mahirap. No? Mahirap. Kaya kasama ako, kaya sabi ko, hindi ka lang magaling ha, kailangan humingi ka rin ng recommendation kay ganito dahil makatulong man yung aking recommendation but since you are a job order, you are political accommodation. So, hinahanap lagi yung mga ganyan. Kaya tayo, in the government, no, it's very important. Kaya siguro, ito na rin sinasabihin ko sa inyo, God's will talaga din yun na hindi ako natanggap. Kasi pala, pag natanggap ako, ang lower position, and then yung qualification ko is pang higher position, there's no way na maakyat agad ako doon sa higher position because I have to pass through the, ano yan? Yung ladder. Kaya buti na sinabihan ako ng HR doon dati sa Sarangani because si Governor Solon was offering me a position, a head position in Sarangani at that time. Eh gusto ko, sabi ko, kung mag-work ako sa government, I want to work in Jensen, kaya taga dito ako. So when si Governor Solon talagang eager siya na kunin ako, saka ka ba nag-decide na pumunta sa opisina ni Mayor Ronel at that time and ask for kung mayroon bang position. So you see, sometimes hindi natin alam anong plano ng Diyos sa atin. God did not design you. Kung hindi ka na-reject ka man sa una mong application, ang attitude ko talaga, well, this is not for me. But God prepared me for a higher position. So when I applied for the government, assistant department head yung available position, binigay agad sa akin. So hindi natin alam. But when you do everything excellently, your excellence will be recognized. Hindi ko kilala si Mayor Ronel. But I became known because nag-part-time barangay administrator ako sa Lagaw. And when I served as a barangay administrator sa Lagaw, on the first year namin, I was able to help Barangay Lagaw win the best barangay in the entire Jensen. May competitive contest kasi. And for 3 straight years, kami ang naging most competitive barangay in Jensen City. And hindi ako kilala, no? Hindi ako kilala ni Mayor Ronel. But because of that performance, excellence, when I applied for the governor, yun pala si Alan, ang barangay administrator ng Lagaw, tumulong na mapanalo ang barangay Lagaw. There was even no second thought kay Mayor, pinatawag ang HR, and I don't even know the HR. I'm telling you, especially for the young people, because when you do things excellently and you will be recognized, you will be given opportunity beyond your imagination. No? Ang importante dito is that you live by the right principles. Okay? So kami na mga boss, that's what I'm looking at doon sa mga nag-a-apply sa akin. Ano bang performance mo? Ano bang mga involvement mo? No? Yan, very important yan. Kaya very important talaga na we excel. Faith, speech, knowledge, earnestness, and love. And show yourself in all respect to be a model of good works with integrity and dignity. And for your information, I was the first SK chairman of Barangay Lagaw. No, nung nag-start ang Sangguniang Kabataan, I was the first SK chairman. And I was also a college president sa Mindanao State University. I'm a BS Biology graduate. But I didn't ask for all of this. But because people sees your excellence, no, kahit hindi ka ikaw ang pipiliin nila. Okay? And I became a leader out of necessity. Na hindi ko pinili. Kundi nakita ng mga tao na you have the capability. When you try to solve problems, that's a good character of a leader. Leader, yan naghahanap ng mga magsosolve ng mga problema. Okay? So next would be discipline. O, tingnan nyo discipline. Are you disciplined? Alam mo, ito ang problema namin sa Pilipinas talaga. Discipline. Train oneself to do something in a controlled and habitual way. Kami, dahil sa environment kami, you know what's the greatest threat sa General Santos City? Pollution. Basura. I don't know here in DAR. Ako sa opisina namin, sige ko sermon. Kay sa basura pa lang, proper segregation. Nakalagay na yan, nabubulok, recyclable, residual. Pagtingin ko sa basura, mix pa rin. Patawag na naman ako, seminar, paseminar natin lahat ng mga empleyado. O saman mo, nabubulok o bulok mo? No? Very simple instruction lang. Di ba mo kabalo, asa ni siya ibutang, asa ni na mga kwan. So I have to orient them and seminar them. Sabi ko, that is where discipline. Ngayon, nag-launch kami ng bagong program 2 years ago. Last year, buti na lang. Kasi, alam mo, sa local government, importante yung mga politika eh. So we started a program, Linis, Ganda at Kapaligiran na program. Because we wanted to make the city Jensan. You know the vision of Jensan before? We wanted to be the green city of the South. Yan talaga yung pangarap namin. Ngayon, nabago na naman. Ang vision ng Jensan ngayon, a metropolitan city, smart and sustainable city. No? That's what we wanted to see. And ako, in charge ako sa beautification ng buong syudad. Nasa akin ang environment. The parks, the islands. No? Pero dahil nga hindi priority lagi yung environment, so I have to find ways. No, very strong kami pagdating sa mga partnership. And I have asked for millions and millions from other partners just to augment yung aming limited budget. To tell you frankly, environment is at the last of the list of priorities of political officials. Alam niyo naman yung number 1 sa kanila, no? Alam niyo yung number 1 sa kanila. Kaya pagdating kay environment, they look at it as a liability. Kaya kontrabida ang dating sa akin eh. Kasi pag may mga road expansion dyan, magre-request si DPWH ng tree cutting. No! Walang putol ng kahoy. You try to integrate the design. Kaya medyo ngayon, si DPWH, medyo kala rin sila, pati city engineers namin. Oh, sige, ano mga meron dyan? Consider nyo na. Kaya sigurado, pagdating kay Senro Alan yan, hindi na naman papayag yan, na papuputol ang mga kahoy. Somehow, I've saved a lot of trees. No? Yung dito sa may Katagawan, papunta doon, itong dito sa may Apupong. A lot of trees were requested, lahat ng mga malalaking akasya doon. Ito lahat ng Nara trees dyan sa Katoliko, from Jollibee, Lagao, all the way down to papuntang KCC. Ni-request lahat sa akin, paputol yung mga Nara trees na yan. I said no. So sit down kami. Finally, walang kahit isa na naputol. Tapos kung sino umuwi na pulumulok sa inyo, yung from Darby CI all the way to doon sa Mandawi, di ba, ang daming malalaking akasya dyan. Ni-request yan ipaputol sa akin. I said no. Patulong ako sa SP, magpasa kayo ng resolution na huwag kayo pumayag. At least, ang naputol dito sa kabila, yung mga name tree lang. Pero yung mga Nara, mga ganyan. So, it's very important, no, that you know your primary calling as a department. Kaya sabi ko, kahit kontrabida kami, but that's the very purpose and mandate of our department, why we were created. So kung I will not defend that, wala din. That's why, very important sa atin that we have discipline. No? Tayo sana kayo dito, no, mga taga-gobyerno. We have a discipline ourselves. Ito ang wala sa atin. Ito ang wala talaga, o kulang sa atin, yung discipline. So train oneself to do something, discipline. Huwag malate lagi. No? Do your work on time. Okay? You do your mga deliverables on time. You can only do that if you have discipline. Okay? So very important. And yan sa inyo, maganda kay core value nyo yan. No? Are you disciplined? And second to the last, ito pa pala, no? But I discipline my body and keep it under control. Lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. Kaya nga, dito sinasabi sa discipline yung walk the talk. Ginagawa mo ba yung sinasabi mo? No? Walk the talk. Tayo sa DAR, part of yung mga core values natin, ano yung ginagawa natin, we should walk our talk. And we can only do that if we have discipline. And lastly, integrity. Do you have this? Alam niyo ba ibig sabihin ng integrity? We always say this. No? Do we have integrity? Anong ibig sabihin ng integrity? Is the quality of being honest. Are you honest? Ako, I try to do this even to the point na sa mga gamit ko sa opisina, I don't bring bond papers, I don't use mga gamit, mga supplies sa opisina namin for my own personal use. I don't do that. Because when we speak of integrity, do you still do the right thing even if no one is watching? That is where integrity is. No? Na ginagawa mo ba ang tama kahit walang nakakakita sa'yo? That is how the measurement of integrity. It's hindi importante kung nakikita o hindi nakikita ng tao, but we know that someone out there is watching over us. Okay? So integrity, honest, ethical, and having consistent. You know, the first time that I came in, ito sa mga managers, Sir John, I don't know if you have experienced this. Sa opisina namin, under maraming mga areas for corruption sa amin. Mga opportunity na pwede kami magkapera sa opisina. Under me is, andyan sa akin ang quarry operation. When I came in sa opisina, I heard a lot of rumors sa aming quarry operation. And you know quarry? Yung mga sand and gravel, nagdi-deliver. Isa yan sa mga madaling pagkakapirahan sa opisina namin. No? Kasi pwedeng magsabuatan ang quarry operator at saka yung aming mga checker. So sasabihin yung truck na yan is 20 cubic meter yung truck. Ngayon, ang anuin lang nila, i-declare nila, 10 cubic meter lang ang laman. Pero ang laman pala ay 20 cubic meter. So instead na yung presyo, for example, na 1,000 pa yung kalahati, sige, 500 na lang, diretso namin sa'yo para may ano. Yung mga areas na yan. So when I came in, I heard a lot of rumors tungkol dyan sa aming operation. And you know, the first thing that I did, tinanggal ko lahat yung mga tao doon sa quarry operation. Lahat! Walang isa akong iniwan. I want to start clean slate. Pero hindi ko sila tinanggal sa trabaho. Tin-transfer ko lang. Okay? Because siyempre, ayoko din naman na mawalan sila ng pamumuhay. So nilipat ko sila. And then I call all the quarry operators. No? Pinaparangkahan ko sila. Tinanong ko sila, totoo ba yung mga chismis, ganyan-ganyan. And then I warned them, never dare na mag-offer kayo sa akin o sa mga tao ko, mga ganyan-ganyan. You know, in my 6 years in the government, ngayon as head, walang ni isang nag-attempt sa akin na mag-offer, mag-under the table, mga ganyan. Because they have heard it directly from my mouth na ganito ang gusto ko. No, ayoko na mga ganito, ayoko na mga ganito. And I only heard that from my relatives na may kilala silang mga quarry operators nagsabi sa kanila, uy, hindi nila alam na pinsan ko pala yung sinabihan nila. And then yung pinsan ko na Lan, grabe ingon atong quarry operator. Stricto daw kayo, di daw ka mapalit, di daw ka mangwarta. See? I was very happy to hear that directly from my cousin na sinabi pero hindi nila alam ng quarry operator na they were talking to my cousins. Di ba? Yung mga ganyan, integrity, no, ethical and having consistent. Because I told them it's our job. Being a public servant, we deliver services. That's part of our job. You don't have to pay us. Hindi kailangan may extra. Tapos amin, alam nyo, isa pang pwede namin opportunity for corruption, nasa amin ang inspection ng mga wastewater. No? Yung lahat ng companies, lahat ng mga establishments, kailangan meron silang ENR clearance. So pwede namin inspeksyonin pag mali, kahit mga small karinderya dyan, mga tindahan, pag meron mga mali dyan, pwede namin ipa-close, i-recommend for closure. So we have a lot of opportunities, but because of this, no, we really have to exercise integrity, acting rightly even when unobserved. Whoever works in integrity works securely, but he who makes his ways crooked will be found out. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. So remember this. We know this sa atin. Kung ano ang iyong itinanim, di ba? Siya mong aanihin. And it's also in the Bible, what you sow is what you reap. No? Ay, kung ano man yung aanihin natin. So, hindi na ako nahihirapan mag-come up ng i-share ko sa inyo, yung core values nyo lang. So what I'm trying to say here is that our core values are our guiding principles sa buhay natin. If we live by our core values every day, you know what? Tingin ko walang corruption na mangyayari in the government. And I believe that this country will really thrive. Ang iniisip ko nga there with all the disasters that's happening around, di ko lang gustong isipin na hopefully this is not judgment from God. Because from my experience, no, even in Quran or sa Bible or whatever, You know, when a nation is so wicked, I saw this sa nangyari sa Israel. You know what happened to Israel? They were scattered all over the world. Makita ninyo, di ba? 6 million of them died under the Nazi regime. Maka-ask ka, saan ang justice ng Panginoon dyan? Pero kung nagbabasa ka, maintindihan mo, that's actually judgment. Sabi ko, parang judgment yun. Because they live so wickedly that they don't even recognize. No? They are God's chosen people accordingly. Pero ang dami ng binigay ng Panginoon sa kanila, pero they don't live by it. So ano nangyari? Judgment came to them. So I'm really praying, no, dito sa ating bansa na hindi darating na dahil masyado ng corrupt ang ating government, ating mga tao, even the people. Di ba? During magboto lang sa election, ipagpalit yung boto nila for 500 pesos, for 300 pesos. And we elect leaders that are so corrupt. So, what we saw is what we reap. So I hope na judgment will not come to our country, no, because of the wickedness. So, we in the government, my wish for all of us is that we live by our core values. No? That's the most important thing. Okay? So, sorry I'm so passionate na nag-share sa inyo because it's also something that deep within my heart na gusto kong makita tayo in the government are really living by our core values. Okay? So, I hope that you have learned something from our short this is actually more of a message rather than as a lecture, no? So, I think that ends my message for all of us this morning, and I hope that I have somehow touched your heart and touched your mind. Thank you and good morning. God bless us all.
Napakaraming salamat po, Sir Alan, no? Sa napakamalaman po at napakalalim na mensahe na binahagi niyo sa amin ngayon. And itong mensahe na to, nakikita ko, hindi lang natin ma-apply sa ating trabaho. It can also be applied in ourselves, no? On how we handle ourselves, and how we get involved with others, no? And how we handle our task, no? So maraming salamat po, sir. So before we continue, we would like to hear some impressions, no, galing sa ating mga kasama dito. May I call on Ma'am May Lisa Malinaw po from Darmo Jensen to share some of her insights from today's topic. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning. Thank you. I live a very, very simple life. Throughout my government service, 21 years exactly. In Dar. So, I remain anchored with strong core values. Thankfully, naa dito sa upat ka core values sa Dar. Ayaw na pa-istoryahasa ko, din ako memorize. But there is love of God, integrity, and dedication, discipline. So, throughout the years, I remain have that core values because it not only support the public, but it also support my family. So, as a mother and have family, after office hour, syempre uwi ka ng bahay. So, mag-shifting agad ang focus mo sa family mo. So, you help them in their schoolwork, and sharing meals with them, and creating a life with discipline, creating a better life to your family. So, throughout the years, with consistency, hard work, and dedication, it's not a very, very simple and perfect life, but it is stable and sa tawag na grounded. And And because of that, I was able to balance my public service and family, being a mother. So, with a strong core values that also sa family, diri sa DAR, it's also a family with their support. And I could only say that it is truly successful. Thank you.
Maraming salamat mo, Ma'am Lisa. And also another one, we will hear another insight from Muhammad Mishael Isdaud from Darab. Sir?
So, good morning, everyone. Sir, thank you for the wonderful insights that you have given us today. Considering that nowadays we are plagued with graft and corruptions, I think it is of grave importance that we give emphasis to one of our core values, which is integrity, that we're able to live an honest life. Through that, we can be able to withstand those temptations that are plaguing us today. And we are only simple people. We do things, we work with what we have, and being in a government agency, we are able to extend our work with our beneficiaries and our clients. Let's continue to keep doing that, and hopefully that someday we can give our clients a wonderful life to live. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that impressions and insights. So before we proceed to our awarding of certificate, please let have another roll call po muna, especially to our online team. So let's start from the Darmo Malapatan. Wow. Next is from our Darmo Kiamba. From our Darmo Maasim. Darmo Alabel, from our Darmo Malapatan, Darmo Malungon, Darmo Glan, and our Darmo Jansan. And of course, we have one representative here coming from Darmo Jansan. And to our divisions from LTID, as nandiyan po sila, ma'am. And for our legal division, nandito po siya sa ating online team. Next is from the Office of STOD, nandito po si Sir, and our PBDD po. Nandito po sila. Okay, so I think we are going to award our certificate of appreciation. May I request Carpo Jan to be here in front. And Sir Alan to be here in front to award the certificate po. As I read the certificate of appreciation, the Republic of the Philippines, the Department of Agrarian Reform, Provincial Office of Sarangani, General Santos City, Certificate of Appreciation is presented to ENP Alan D. Marcelia MISDS in recognition of his invaluable knowledge and expertise as a resource speaker during the DARS Monday Convocation Program with the topic, Anchor for a Stable, Successful Life, held on February 2, 2026 at the Department of Agrarian Reform, Provincial Office, Sarangani. Given this second day of February 2026 at Darpo Sarangani, General Santos City. Signed by our Provincial Agrarian Reform Program Officer 2, Oding B. Yusuf, JDSCL. Now let's proceed to our closing remark to be by Carpo Jan Gamad.
Again, good morning, everyone. No, I expect that another topic or a topic that is not common to us will be discussed. No, but we're happy. No, na para na-expound that we usually mention during the conduct of external audit. What are the core values? No? Palagi natin sinasabi, love of God, no? Yung love of God and country, LCCDS, yung to make it short, no? Culture of excellence, no? Commitment, discipline, integrity, no? But it's only this time siguro para sa ko no na masyadong naging malinaw, no? It's easy for us to to internalize, no? Kasi parang nabigay lang yan sa atin without, kasi parang self-explanatory, murag kabalo naman tana, but iba yung presentation ni Sir Alan. Na ganun pala, no? With yung reference pa sa ating Bible and Quran. So it's something very very beautiful na presentation na ganun pala 'yon, no? In our course management, usually do pep talks to our staff, no? So parang yun lang pala pinaka-effective na gamitin natin, no? Just to encourage and sustain yung support and yung vibrant ng ating mga kasamahan. So thank you, sir, no? Sa very very nice presentation. So yun pala, no? Sa atin yun ginuha, but I realize na we need some kind of that, no? Parang maunawa natin mabuti, ma-internalize natin. What are these core values? So, on behalf sa aming head ng office, no, kay Paro Oding, kami po ay magpasalamat, no, with your presence, sir, and responding to our request to be our resource speaker today. Talagang very essential, lalo na that we are ISO na, no? We need to internalize yung mga core values natin. And with that presentation, we hope and we believe na naintindihan nila mas deeper this time, no? Sa lecture ni Sir Alan. So with that, maraming salamat, especially those who are online, no, from the different offices sa ating DAR, no, for joining with us in this program. And of course, again, maraming salamat sa ating resource speaker. Yun lang po. Good morning. Sir, salamat.
Again, no, maraming salamat. And maraming salamat sa lahat na nakiisa sa ating convocation ngayong umaga.
As we start this new week, dalhin natin ang values ng serbisyo, integridad at malasakit para sa ating mga agrarian reform beneficiary.
Let us continue working together for a more responsive and people-centered DAR.
This has been your host,
I'm Engineer John Villanueva Maido.
and I am Erica B. Glenwar. Have a productive week ahead. Mabuhay ang DAR, mabuhay ang DAR Sarangani.